Hey everybody, this is Ben here at thatcologneguy coming at you with another fragrance review. If you're following my channel, you know I am currently in the midst of reviewing samples from Amouage library collection. I'm having so much fun doing this, and in this episode I am moving on. I'm almost done actually, which I'm sad to say. I'm moving on to Amouage Opus VIII. Opus VIII is a white floral. And as you know, I like to read the description that came with the box and to see if it actually lives up to the description. So here we go. Opus VIII Eau de Parfum 100 milliliters, which of course I don't have because this is a sample. Opus VIII is a woody and floral fragrance inspired by the trompe-l'oeil, okay, effect of creating a dialogue between reality and illusion. So one thing I like to do in my episodes is take a closer look at either a note or a term that's used in the industry. And so without further ado, you can guess which one I'm going to do. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it. We should do it in kind of like an 80s crime show motif and say like, today, a closer look. So we're going to take a closer look at trompe-l'oeil. So this is spelled Trompe L'Oeil. So it looks like Trumpy loyal. Nothing to do with President Trump, okay? Trompe-l'oeil. And I had to look this up, but I wanted you to know this because this is pertinent to this particular fragrance. First of all, trompe is like cheating or deception, and l'oeil is of the eye in French. Obviously, this is a French expression, and so it means the deception or to deceive the eye or deception of the eye. And so we're talking about some sort of trickery here used in art. So I looked it up again. Besides the definition, but also the way it's used in art, and I wanted to read this for you. It's an art. Trompe-l'oeil is an art technique that uses realistic imagery to create the optical illusion that the depicted objects exist in 3 dimensions. So what we're trying to do is, obviously, this is a technique that a painter would use in the painting to make sure that the depicted object, the object that we're looking at, is made to look 3-dimensional. So again, we're looking at a visual illusion. And so I wanted to read that because actually, I must tell you, this really does live up to the definition. And the reason why it does is, let me just read the notes to you, and you tell me. You tell me if you think this is more on the feminine side for marketing terms or more on the masculine side. Top notes: jasmine, ylang ylang,
and orange flower.
And you would say, correct, it's more on the feminine side. So you would think of like a woman's perfume, most likely. Now listen to this though. The heart is frankincense, saffron, ginger, vetiver, and guaiac wood. So you might say, well, I would associate that more with a men's cologne. And so the base, balsam, benzoin, and Jamaican Bay rum. Nothing really stands out there. So what's interesting about this fragrance is this is kind of a trompe-l'oeil, or a dialogue between reality and illusion here, between the 2 genders. Because what I really, really appreciate about this is the top notes are what would be traditionally deemed as feminine, and the heart or the mid notes are more masculine. And so the result of this is truly a unisex experience. This fragrance is absolutely open to anyone, any age, any time. This is very, very, very well blended. And I tip my cap because it is absolutely a well blended fragrance. I can tell you now that among the niche crowd are folks who like the more expensive. So niche, of course, a niche company means companies that essentially specialize in fragrance, right? That's all or almost all that they do. They tend to be higher end on the price point, and in theory also on the quality. And so Amouage is of course a niche company. This is a niche fragrance. This will run you between $280 and $380 American dollars for a 100 milliliter 3.3 ounce bottle. The niche folks are going to like this. It is exceptionally well blended. It is the epitome of unisex. I don't see anyone disliking this. I mean, I'm not even gonna give a season on this one. I'm not gonna do it. Same way with day, night, office, evening. This is for everything. This is the fragrance that you could wear literally anytime, anywhere. Same way with age. I'm just going to throw everything out the window on this one because this one is not too mature. I mean, the only thing you could say is the jasmine and the orange blossom and the ylang ylang are higher up. They do overpower to some degree the guaiac and the vetiver. It's a clean vetiver, by the way. It's not a dirty one. So the clean vetiver, the guaiac wood, and the ginger do lay relatively low, and the jasmine and the ylang ylang and the orange blossom do dominate. Now that's not to suggest that this is a linear fragrance, because it's not. The heart notes come up with each hour, but they never overpower the top notes. Just absolutely well done on this fragrance. What more can you say? In fact, I was thinking about this right before I started this review. I was thinking about when I reviewed Lyric Man by Amouage, and I said Lyric Man is the one rose-based fragrance you should have in your collection if you're not a big fan of rose. Here's what I would say about this. This is clearly the one white floral that you should have in your collection. If you're not a huge fan of white florals and you think, well, they're kind of hit and miss, or maybe perhaps too feminine, too light, whatever terms you want to use, you should absolutely have this one as your only white floral in your collection, because you will need to look no further. Just like Lyric Man ends the discussion on rose, this ends the discussion on white florals. End of story. End of review. Now, okay, so some words that I thought of that evoke Amouage Opus VIII. For me, when I think of Opus VIII, I think of luxurious soap. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, wait, is that like a Prada? If you are strapped for cash, I like to sometimes offer an alternative. And I would say, if you are strapped for cash, then you should, but you like the notion of luxurious soap fragrances, masculine or feminine, then you should consider something from Prada. Prada is really the crown jewel of luxurious soap. I love their fragrances, and my favorite is Amber Man, which has like 3 names to it. It's the purple one, but it's called like Prada Amber, Prada Man, Prada Amber Man, Prada Homme. It's got like 4 names, and so we'll call it Prada Amber, but it's the purple one. And I've had a couple of bottles of that one. Really, really like it. Now, it doesn't smell just like that. It's not even a white floral, but that would be something along the same lines of luxurious soap, and it would be able to get you what you want for more like $50 for a smaller size, perhaps. You might be able to catch it at a discounter for about $50. Now, this one is going to be a lot more expensive, of course. So this is luxurious, expensive soap. This is very, very, very close to a masterpiece with one shortcoming, and you can argue that that's just depending on the person. For me, this is close to a masterpiece, and I'm not going to say that it is, only because it does lack a little bit of the wow factor, for the lack of a better word. I think it's a oh, you smell nice today fragrance, but it's not so much of a, oh wow, what are you wearing, because I need to write it down because my partner needs to have that. It's not so much of that. It doesn't have necessarily the wow factor, and it suffers from niceness, if you will, and so that would be the only thing I can think of. So you might think, well, that's pretty trivial. It is. It's the only thing I can think of as me being the harshest possible critic that I am, and have to be in these reviews. That's all I can come up with. It does lack a wow factor, but it is original and it is exceptional. Okay, so now in terms of longevity and projection, it just gets better. Longevity is off the charts, and usually with Amouage, I usually say something like, "Well, it lasts a long time, but it's not beast mode like Interlude Man." That is not the case. This actually, for me on my skin, lasts just as long as Interlude Man, which is the Blue Beast, of course, the blue bottle one, and wow. Last night, I wore it all day yesterday, and I put on 3 sprays, and I got 14 to 16 very, very strong hours. So we're going to say, I mean, I don't even want to say a work shift. I mean, it is very, very strong. Or I should say it lasts a long time. Now, the really good news about this is that it kind of works like Burberry Touch. I'm sure you guys have some in your collection where I like the ones where the longevity, they last a long time, but they don't project too much. And Burberry Touch works for me like that. And this is another one that I really appreciate because it lasts forever and a day. But it doesn't, at any given point, it does not project too much unless, of course, you overspray. So we want to keep this to 2 to 4 sprays. And if you're in close quarters in an office, you'd want to go 2. 1 on each wrist would be enough, no doubt. In fact, I did 1 on each wrist, and then 1 on my neck, and the collar of my shirt this morning still smells like it. My watch still has the fragrance on it from yesterday. This is a very, very strong fragrance, but it does not project too much. I mean, you want to talk about something that's inoffensive. I mean, how anyone could not like this one or could say this is a pass for them is beyond me. Now, how I could also see why someone would give it a B or, some sort of, yes, it's good, but not, exceptional for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. But other than that, this is a heavy hitter. And it is the king or queen of white florals. So let's go with the sprays. One thing I'm going to do differently in my channel, because I'm getting a lot more subscribers now, really appreciate that. I am getting to the point where people are viewing each episode, and so they kind of know my system now. So I'm not really going to describe my system anymore, but I'll probably throw it down in the description box and leave it at that. Out of 5 sprays, I'm going to give this a 4. This is a clear 4 out of 5 sprays rating for me. And the reason is because the originality, the fact that it is so well blended, and the fact that it does fit the trompe l'oeil effect. And who could, honestly, let's just say it, right? How many of us can go through a day without saying trompe l'oeil? I mean, it just it's so easy to say. So it just rolls off the tongue. So It succeeds in its mission, and I really appreciate that about this fragrance. And so 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 1 on each wrist and 1 on each side of the neck, and then I'm just going to hope that I'm not in any sort of meeting today in a very, very, very small room. How's that? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh my, I might need to start coughing now because this room's filling up. And 4. Boom, there you go. And just because I love you guys so much, I'm going to give you a spray too. There you go. Okay, there you have it, guys. That's Opus VIII. And want to end by saying thank you so much for all of your comments, your feedback. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And since the last episode, you guessed it, I have more people who have subscribed. And so we want to welcome them, and we always do by saying, welcome to the Cologne crew. My cold is almost gone, and so I'm able to kind of sing again. I don't know if that's called singing, but welcome to the Cologne crew, everybody. And thank you so much. As you know, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, so I get my own URL. I'm very excited about that, and we are well on our way. Don't forget that if you have friends who are interested in fragrances, who might like these reviews, send these along, tell them to subscribe, and I really sincerely appreciate it. Thanks again. Have a wonderful day. Today's Friday. For those of you who are watching this when it's not a Friday, happy, just pretend it is. It's always Friday here at That Cologne Guy. And always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today.